Hello everyone! Welcome to my guide for Project Zomboid Apocalypse scenario. In this tutorial I will show you an overpowered build with an electrician that, in my opinion, beats the burglar by a mile. We will guide the electrician through roughly 3 hours of real-time gameplay, edited down to 1 hour in this video, from the very first step to his survival dream house. Once there, you can continue playing relatively easy. We will start our journey in Buddah because it is closest to the dream house. The electrician is generally able to operate generators without the operating manual. The operating manual has a very low drop rate, which is why I created this build. The idea is to use the auto mechanic trait and level up early in that area to be able to break into cars very early on. Additionally, we choose strong and athletic traits to hit hard, but also be able to disappear quickly when necessary. We will balance these particularly expensive traits with negative traits that don't bother us much. I will briefly discuss the negative traits and why they don't pose any problems. So thin skin causes infection in wounds, so every wound is treated with disinfectant, which is readily available. Conspicuous and clumsy serve to attract zombies and represent an aggressive playstyle. Attack is the best form of defense, right? Weak stomach and fast metabolism aren't a problem at all, since we find plenty of healthy food. Reluctant fighter hurts us the most, but if we are strong enough in the beginning, we will be strong enough in the end too. I hope. We can counteract short-sightedness by wearing glasses from the start. Slow reading doesn't bother us, because we can fast forward in single player mode, or we only read much when we are safe anyway. Now let's talk about the location of the luxury survival house you've always dreamed of. The game version I'm using is the current B42 multiplayer version, which was released just before Christmas 2025. You can find the link to the interactive map in the browser address bar. This beautiful country villa truly has everything the game has to offer. Farmland, space for animals, a blacksmith, a spindle for sewing, a fishing spot, a well, plenty of wood, numerous bedrooms, ample storage space and much more. The base is far removed from civilization, so zombies should be very rare. Depending on the seed, there is also a generator there, and if not, one should definitely be found within 40 days. As mentioned before, the electrician can connect the generator already. The villa is located between West Point and Buddah and allows for many planned adventures. The only drawback is the long path through the forest, which could potentially be improved by chopping down several trees. The first step is to crouch down to be less conspicuous. Since we have no weapons, an encounter with a zombie would be unpleasant. Ideally, we will find 1 or 2 weapons and something to eat at the starting point. But it's not the end of the world if we sneak up to our neighbor house to get the basic equipment. In this tutorial, I won't be focusing on watching the TV shows to keep the video from being too long. Generally, it's recommended to watch the shows running on Life and Living at 6 AM and 12 PM. The skills are helpful but not absolutely necessary, and we will have plenty of time at our destination to craft, farm and read. However, civilization will soon cease to exist, so enjoy the shows and develop step by step. The most important thing is to stay alive. As a tip for watching TV shows, I recommend wearing 2 digital watches and setting alarms so you don't miss any show. While searching for a car to tinker with, I came across this house and decided to stay the night. Therefore, I closed the curtains after eliminating all the zombies in the area. You can quickly interact with the window and curtains by simply clicking on them. So here's my first victim for level 2 mechanic training. The first thing we do, of course, is check if a car key is hidden in the glove compartment or somewhere else in the house. In this case, the car was unlocked, but no key could be found. If the car were locked, we would have to break into it before we could even start tinkering with it. However, we're still missing the necessary tools. The most important tools for mechanic are screwdrivers and wrenches, but hammers and saws for carpentry are also essential. If in doubt, you can see exactly which tools you need in the car's menu by clicking on Remove. Here I found a workbench that I might need later. I will now show you guys how to create the most efficient markers on a map. For this you will need a pen or any other suitable pencil in your inventory. To erase, you will need an eraser. Although there's probably a symbol for every object, I recommend writing your notes yourself so you don't have to search for the symbol. In the following fight, you can see 4 zombies charging at me. Luckily, we have already found weapons. The most efficient way to kill the zombies is to run backwards while holding down the attack button. As soon as the zombie approaches from a side or behind, you have to run. If several zombies come from the front, you can perform an immediate push after one hit to knock the second zombie away. You should definitely be able to win a fight like this before you spawn in towns like Moondraw or West Point. After a successful battle, your character might be thirsty, hungry and exhausted. Therefore, seek shelter in a house and fill a water container, such as a plastic bottle, with you as soon as you enter. To quickly demonstrate how cooking works, I will fry some meat by clicking the pan and add the meat. Of course, you will need a knife for this. Once the meat is in the pan, you can add other ingredients like spices or vegetables. It's relatively simple and the game rewards you with a much longer feeling of fullness compared to junk food like chips. In the endgame, cooking will definitely be necessary to survive. Once all the ingredients are in the pan or other container, you need to go to an oven and place the container inside. I set the timer for pan-fried dishes to 30 minutes. However, the timer sound doesn't turn the oven off. You have to turn it off manually, otherwise your house will burn down. If you put raw meat in the oven and roast it, the cooking time is significantly shorter. Because I put so much meat in the pan, I'm going to be very full. Food can also make you happier, but apparently you need other ingredients like salt or pepper for that. For more in-depth cooking tutorials, there are definitely better master chefs than me on YouTube. Now that I've gathered tools and I'm extremely well fed, I find my way back to the car we found at our first campsite. I put the necessary tools into my inventory and placed the toolbox I found earlier on the ground to lighten my load. The car parts are particularly heavy, so you only need to equip yourself with the bare essentials. The strength trait is especially helpful right now. Being a mechanic is really easy. To level up, you have to remove and reinstall parts. A failed attempt is worth 1 point and a successful attempt is worth 5 points for the simpler parts. You go to the familiar menu, which you should already know since you can also check the car's fuel tank with it. I'm focusing on the battery, the hood and all the car's windows. To change tires I need a jack and the right car wrenches. Our level is too low for the fuel tank and the exhaust, so the probability of getting 5 points is especially low. You can do it, but in my experience you need 3 cars where you remove and reinstall the aforementioned parts to become a level 2 mechanic and be able to crack cars. It's important to mention that you only get experience with each car once a day for removing and installing parts. That's why the single point in the automotive mechanic trait is so helpful, as it gives us the first step as a car mechanic to really reach our goals quickly. If I break a replacement part, it's not a big deal. I will just drop it on the floor. The chance of losing a battery is particularly high, but the chance of successfully removing the window is only 50%. I tried to sneak to the nearest car to get the important experience points. A small group of zombies with a shoulder bag and a helmet approach. Since I haven't found a bag yet, I gladly accept the challenge. The shoulder bag can be worn in addition to the backpack and doesn't require secondary equipment like a garbage bag or a toolbox. The helmet provides particularly good the head. So after killing the zombie with the helmet, I could also find on his body working boots. Those boots protect my feet also really good. I'm starting to get more and more protection, and this is why I love this game so much, because you develop and you get better from time to time. After completely wrecking my second car, I was tired and needed to go to sleep. I closed all the doors and made sure the sheets were pulled tight over the windows. Barely out of bed, I tried my luck in the kitchen with my limited skills to recharge before venturing onto my third and final car, before becoming a recognized mechanic in Muldraw. So this time I was mixing meat with some vegetables, and you can see that the happiness scalar is much higher than in the last food, but the nutrition level is a little lower. I made it. I've completed level 2 mechanics. I won't get my hands dirty anymore, at least not with motor oil. After less than a day, we can already choose our car and are much more flexible than many other classes. Now it's time to gather food, books and mats and get out of this town as soon as possible. Sometimes picking a lock takes a little while, but it will work. If the car has gas, you can drive off. Pressing V takes you to the car menu, where you can select the options from the driver's seat. It's also there where you can put loot on the back of the car or somewhere else. Sometimes picking a lock takes a little while, but it will work. If the car has gas, you can drive off. Pressing V takes you to the car menu, where you can select the options from the driver's seat. From the driver's seat, you can also see if the key is in the ignition or if the car has been broken into. The small icons where the speed is displayed allow you to open the doors and tailgate. You can also check the engine and the battery status here. Now that I've loaded my loot into the car, I immediately set out to find a bigger and better one. I acquired the necessary skills on day 1. Having arrived at a suitable vehicle, in this case a blue truck with a large cargo bed, I drive a little further to clear the area. Since I can't take my current car with me, it's free for crashing. I will now show you a technique for killing a particularly large number of zombies with a car. Unfortunately, cars break down quickly when you drive over zombies, and the damage is less than you might think. With this technique, you can distribute the damage across your car. Instead of just driving over the zombies from the front and back, we run them over from all sides. At some point, your car is going to break down. Don't panic, just go out, run a little bit, and then stand your ground. Normally, you have good stamina when you get out of a car and you're really strong, so you can kill a bunch of zombies before you run away. After a successful escape, I go to the blue car and start it. I look around a bit to see if I can find another car to wreck. Since I can find a suitable car, I just crash the blue one. Clearing the whole area would take forever. I will find another car and loot the mall next door. Ladies and gentlemen, I represent the Austrian Donauwalzer. Now that the second car has crashed and the area is more or less clear, I'm very tired. Even though I have athletic stamina and high strength, I've reached my limit. I think this really showcased the potential of this build. Since there's no house nearby, I'm seeking shelter in the large building next door. It's a kindergarten, which, just like schools, contains many books that we'd like to take with us. But first, we need some sleep and rest. Because of his many weaknesses, my character can barely attack anymore, which is why the fights are taking longer and longer. If a lot of zombies were to come now, I wouldn't be able to run for much longer, so I have to find shelter. After a stressful night of zombie popping My character woke up well rested, but in a state of panic. I tried to improve my mood with some sweets. There are many ways to reduce panic, like smoking cigarettes or cigars or reading. Paperback, for example, are particularly suitable for this, and they are lighter than books. So I don't like to carry around all the books because they're so heavy, but paperbacks I always take with me. But after reading them, I put them on the ground. Theoretically, you can read them again after 90 days and get the same effect, but at this stage, every kilogram counts. The walk through the kindergarten was quiet, so I was able to stuff myself with books for later use. In general, a good advice is when you're tired to sit down. Search an area that is free of zombies, sit down and use your attack key to look around in cycles to watch if a zombie approaches. Now that we've gathered enough loot, I'm glad to find this red car. I'll use it to get gas so I can find my final car for the move to my dream villa. Arriving at the gas station, I fill up the red car completely. Although I won't be using it for the move to the dream villa, it's good to know that a functioning car with fuel is waiting for me somewhere in Muldraw if the power goes out. After filling the car, I go in search of empty gas canister to fill. But gas stations also have food, drinks and interesting magazines. I was able to find maps of cities that show me the layout of this area. It's advisable to spend some time here, as there's so much food that we could easily eat our fill several times over. As a special tip, I recommend bringing empty plastic bottles and garbage bags. Plastic bottles are very useful for transporting liquids, and garbage bags can be used to organize loot and later to craft rain barrels. You can get the plastic bottles in gas stations or in supermarkets, and you have to empty them. Often you find water bottles or bottles with orange juice or something, or Coke, and you have to empty them to have the empty bottle so you can carry more. The second blue car I originally wanted was unfortunately damaged. The trunk wouldn't open, so I had to change my plans and opted for the large white one. I will put a gas canister in the car. I will definitely fill up the tank again on my way to the survival base. Because I was really tired, I slept in the red car. If a zombie would wake me up, it's good to know that I have a full car available with gas where I can drive away. So I risked it and I slept next to the white one. You can now briefly see me sorting and placing the loot in the garbage bags in the car. Order is half the battle, as they say. I'm separating meds, food, books and tools. In this case I'm using the passenger seat to place the tools. The rest goes in a garbage bag. With the loot I'm carrying on my person, we are now ready to set off. It was a quiet night. I slept for almost 10 hours. Now that I've sorted my loot, broken into the car and picked the ignition, my journeys take me back to the wrecked cars and the mall that's still waiting to be looted. In this section you will see me packing the loot from the 2 wrecked cars into my main vehicle. I leave a pile of corpses and 2 wrecked cars behind. Loot this place and probably won't be back. For those who don't know, with every tool you can open doors that are locked by just knocking them down. So this is what I did here, and the loot was not that good, but to show you guys that it works. Unfortunately, I was too full to carry this toolbox. Also, my car was already full. It was really time now to move on. After a long day of rearranging things, I was tired again. I decided to drive back to Muldraw to spend the night in a house. That this was a huge mistake and that I almost died is shown in the following real-time clip. Perhaps it will help you to understand how to react in situations that don't go as planned. I wanted to lock the zombies up, but accidentally locked myself in too. Since fighting was pointless, I tackled the zombies by sprinting. My glasses fell to the ground in the process, which impaired my vision. It was at this moment I realized I won't get my glasses back today. I need somewhere to stay and recover. After a really long and really hard fight, I try to reduce my stress with paperback. I will drink and I will rest and sleep in this house. Tomorrow I'm going to get the car and get the fuck out of here. So because I don't know how many zombies are actually on the other side of this door, I decide to go out of the window and jump one floor. I know it will hurt myself, but it's better than dying. In the distance you can hear an alarm system that I accidentally activated before, and the alarm system attracts zombies, which I'm using as an opportunity to get out of here quickly. But first I need to grab my glasses. I shouldn't get into a car without them. So after resting a bit and eating a steak on the way, I finally spot a backpack right by my car. I seized the opportunity and happily equipped myself with it. Then I find knee pads, which I put on, and some seeds that we take with us for later. Since I just got a small wound and I have thin-skinned a straight, the wound must be disinfected immediately and treated with the best bandages available. A fanny pack, so the small backpack you wear around your belly, can't carry much, but it's ideal for carrying disinfected bandages, surgical needles and painkillers. I would store all the other medication, such as antidepressants, vitamins and beta blockers, in the base or the glove compartment of the car. So now, to have an easy access to the dream mansion, I'm going to destroy the fence that blocks the entrance for my car. I will destroy 2 fences, so I have a quick and easy access to my dream mansion. So after a long drive through the woods, I finally arrived home. However, the original inhabitants of this house are still here. I will show these snobs what's what.
Hey!
It is a small detail, but it helps if you kill the zombies beside the roads. You will going to use the roads afterwards with your car, and corpses will probably damage your tires on the long run. So the problem there is you have to pick them up and put them on the other side. It's much easier to kill them already where they don't bother. Once you claim a base, it's crucial that no corpses of zombies remain near the base while clearing the area. Therefore, we will take some time to lure the zombies to a place where we don't care if they rot there. Pay special attention to your plants, as zombies can trample them and their blood will make them sick. I did it! Having arrived in my new home, I'm going to rest for a while. We might pick up some canned goods, some gas in the future, and maybe a cow or 2. But what we have accomplished now is really quite exceptional. We are basically set, we can read, we have food, we have our plants, and yeah, from zero to hero. And now I will show you how to set up your base efficiently. But first I need the right tools. So I will quick grab the loot from the car and then we'll start to get our hands on the carpentry. Next, we will see how I'm setting up the survival living room. One couch is definitely more than enough for myself. And the TV stand next needs to make room for all the garbage bags and backpacks. You have to understand that when I sit down on the couch, I ideally want to open all my bags, like for example to find a book, while I'm sitting. Then I will move the TV so I can watch comfortably. In this case, we would change the TV in the next days with an VHS recorder so I can record my VHS tapes. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a like and a follow. It means a lot to me. If you would like me to make a part 2 showing how we significantly improve the base, breed plants and animals and prepare the final ingredients for a life after death, leave a comment. In summary, we played for a good 3 days to go from zero to hero. The underrated Electrician became a handsome, well-equipped survival master in an absolute survival dream house. Now we have a real chance of dying a natural death.